This section heading is called Defining a SNORT Rule, comprised of both the header and options sections. So now that you've created a SNORT rule with just using the header part of a rule, now we're going to build on that. So we're going to add some options onto it. So these are going to help us within our log file to kind of coin traffic, right? So help us to identify the rule and also other applications to identify the rule. So the first step in this process is to go back over to Alice. So over here, I'm going to minimize and pull up this terminal. We'll issue a break within the terminal, which is a Control C. I'm going to hit the up arrow key here so we can go back into our local rules file. And now we're going to add a comment. So now this comment character, or this comment, is going to help us to identify what we're doing with this rule. So we're creating a rule comprised of both the header and options sections. Okay, so when defining our rule, what we want to do is we want to generate an alert when we receive TCP packets coming from any source socket going to the destination socket of 10.10.1.114. So this is an email server within the DMZ, and the port for that socket is going to be 443. So this is the default port for HTTPS. So this is our header section of our rule. So now we'll continue the options on the next line. So your options are encapsulated within parentheses. And the first option that we're going to define is the message option. So we have the option separated by a colon and then a user-defined variable. So the user-defined variable that we're going to put in here, we're going to put the message priority. So this will be a part of our log message. So we'll see it within there. So this is not only going to signify, a message along with what we're seeing in the log file, but we're going to use this message here when we run a script. So we're going to find that we're going to try to do a pattern match based on what we're putting in here. So it's going to be IDS-DMZ. And now we're going to separate our options using a semicolon. So now we're going to provide another option over here. So this next option is going to be a signature ID. So SID. So we're going to give a signature ID based on SNORT's documentation. So SNORT's documentation will tell you that less than 100 should be reserved for future use. Between 100 and 999,999, those should be reserved for SNORT rules defined by SNORT. Anything that's greater than or equal to 1 million, those are used for local rules. So that's what we're doing right here. So we're going to do 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, semicolon. Okay, so there's our SNORT rule. And now what we're going to do once again, Control X, Y to save, hit enter. We want to test that our syntax for our rule is correct. So we will do a sudo snort. We want to provide the path to the configuration file. So etc snort snort.conf. We want to test it out. And we can see that it's good.